or what my role is anyways. I don't want to know who introduced you yet to the group or how you found us. So I'm going to show you though, and what I basically do is I like to put businesses into flow, and we do something called an intake form. So it doesn't matter in our group if you're a solutions provider or what you are, you do an intake form. And here's what it looks like. I'm going to share my screen with you real quick, okay? This is my guru. This is all I do. So, well, this is all I like to do anyways. So, okay, I'm going to show you my screen real quick, and I'm going to pull up these ones I've been doing. Okay. All right. So this is what an intake form looks like. Basically, I'm going to do, and we're going to run through one real quick. Okay. So I'm going to show you one that's completed, more completed anyways. This was one I did yesterday with a gentleman by the name of Garu, Eugene Garu. I'm going to do file. I'm going to put open recent. Okay. Here's one that's completed. Yep, this one. Okay. So basically, we're going to run through this. And so this person gave me their one thing, but we come back to that. We do that second. I'm going to ask you, and so we're going to jump all over this form, just so you know, okay? But when you go out and you raise money for an industry, whatever industry you're in, when you go out and you go raise money for an industry, this is what your form looks like, okay? It's the first thing that you send out. And I had the opportunity, I had the luxury, I should say. I pitched 96 times at my company, and only 2 people gave me money, and it wasn't the type of money that I actually get from people these days, which is investor money on what's called a 506, and we'll cover that in a little bit. But so basically, this form is much like a grocery store. Okay, when you go to the grocery store, the eggs are on one side, the milk's on one side, and the bread's on one side, and there's a reason why. Because I actually had the luxury. I got lucky after a few of these where I actually sat down, and every Tuesday, big VC firms, they have a whole fulfillment team that goes out and they find all these deals, and it feeds up to the guy who actually makes the decision. So what happens is this guy, I was sitting there, and he gets 800 to 1,200 of these every month. And so other people pick through the ones they think are right for their thesis, and they give them to this guy. And the guy was literally sitting with me, Aaron, I'm going to show you something. It was a Tuesday morning. He got this big list of them. There was 250 of them. And it was sitting on his desk, and the lady, whatever it is, I'm going to show you how I picked through these basically. And I said, okay, cool. And he literally thumbed through them really fast. He thumbed through them. And then he pulled one out, he stuck it on the table. And then he thumbed through them. And then he pulled one out, he stuck it on the table. And then he thumbed through them. And he pulled it out and stuck it on the table. And then he thumbed through them. He pulled it, stuck it on the table. And the rest of me threw in the trash. And it was that quick. And I literally said to him, wow, what is that? And he's like, these are all the decks that we're going to look at and potentially put through our system. And I was like, wait, what? And he said, and I'm not done yet, 1 second. And I was like, okay. So he literally looked at this, and then he said, let me show you what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the key partners that this person already has in their key partner thing. I'm looking at that, okay? That's what I look at first. So the reason we put the key partners where it is because they have to glance down, and they might see a word that pops out on the way to their key partners. And that's why it's there. They literally thumb through and they look for it, and that's why it's there. And they're like, okay. And I said, and so then as they thumb through it, and so just so you know, this is in the draft phase for us. Okay, so you know how we know it's in the draft phase? We know it's in the draft phase. On the draft phase right here, solutions draft, as soon as you approve it, which is the signature down at the bottom right, we're going to move that market cap right there to the left side of the page, because we want them to see market cap, we want them to glance down, and then we want them to see key partners. That's it, because they're usually thumbing over through that corner, and they're like, oh, interesting, okay, great. So we make it real easy so they stay in flow with us, and this is how we help you raise money under the theses for the right people. Okay, great. So then what happens is these 4, he literally showed me, he then goes over to the right-hand side of the page, and usually right here, if you're going to be raising money, I put in something that's called customer acquisition cost, and the long-term and the lifetime value of your client. And I put that right here. And so then when I put that right there, then that's the other 2 things he looks at, and he didn't look at anything else. And so I said, so what stood out to you there? He said, you see these key partners? I currently can I can literally call any one of these key partners right now, and I can say, hey, I got this deal on the table. Here's what came through. Would you be interested in a future purchase acquisition of this client if we do a contract that you'd fulfill right now, of which you're going to get a percentage off of obviously built this deal because they're raising money, and you're going to get a very effective percentage or a very effective deal because you're going to do a bootstrap and you're going to fund them, but it's going to come through my fund, and we're going to write that contract. Yep, absolutely. Okay, or nope, we wouldn't be interested right now. And so he says, okay, great. And so he literally puts 3 stamps on it, throws the other one away, and then that's what they decide to put through this process. And it's still a process. So now they're going to send you a message and say, I need your full deck. And your deck's got to be beautiful. And I don't know if you came in from Michael Gray, who, it doesn't matter right now. But if you came in from Michael Gray, it's literally, he's going to do the colors. So maybe these aren't your colors. Your colors are going to change to whatever your colors are on this. He's also going to do your logo on this. Okay. So your logo moves to the right side. And then the market cap moves to the left side, and then we know it's complete and you're ready to go out for raise. For me, that's how I get paid. This is all I do all day. And then I get paid 1 to 6% for anything we raise you. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So we're going to run through this real quick. You said that you were over something called the Unicorn Universe. Is that accurate?
Right.
Okay, so Unicorn Universe. And do you already have a website?
Yeah, it's unicornuniverse.io.
Unicornuniverse.io. Okay, awesome. And do you know who your key partners are already?
Who our key partners are?
Yep, key partners. Any Fortune 500 companies?
Not at this time.
Okay, cool. We're going to come back to that then for a minute.
Pretty
okay?
early phases right now.
Okay, we're going to come back to that real quick. Okay, so the people that would come into this Unicorn Universe or whatever, it was a networking group of some sort, right?
Yeah, so yeah, they'd be people that are looking to grow their network, people that are looking for funds, people that are looking for solutions to help their business grow or operate better.
Okay, so that's what you're looking for, you think? So customers' problems would be they need funding.
Mm-hmm.
They need funding. Now, when you say they need funding, do these people usually need, they'll take anything, or they'll take a loan, or they'll take anything, or what type of funding do they usually look for?
So it depends on the business. Typically there is potential for loans, there's potential for JVs. We typically
JV is interesting. They need funding. Okay, network to grow. So maybe a network to grow, would that be, so maybe a JVs for bootstrapping, we call it, you think? Or just JVs in general, just like a really good relationship for a JV. And that's joint venture, right?
Right.
Okay, and so we're gonna put that here. Awesome. And so, okay, so joint venture. Now here's what I'm gonna do real quick, okay? I'm gonna stop sharing this because I don't want you to think about this forum, okay? Now, I'm a coach, and I'm going to make sure you don't sell. When we go to raise money, we go to help find awesome people for this magical network. I'm going to help you so you don't sell with your heart, because I already know that's where this is going. But I'm going to stop sharing this because I don't want you to think about this forum. We're going to carry on a conversation, okay? And that conversation is about what we do. Now, I am going to somewhat minimize my screen because I'm going to be filling out parts of these pieces and just taking notes. And then at the end of it, I'm going to make sure that we have a really good crisp form. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
So let me just do this real quick, but I more want to focus on what you is. So why did you start this Unicorn Universe thing? Why did you do this?
Because we want to help businesses become what they envision they can become.
That's awesome because we want to. But what inspired you to do this? Why you? Why not anybody else in the world? Why you?
Because we already have a massive network of people that can help those businesses become that.
Okay, you already have a massive network. And so where did that massive network come from, may I ask?
We have partners on the team and just various different people and resources that we've met along the way, just through other business dealings and other, relationships.
What's the one deal you've ever done with your massive network of people that excited you the most?
One deal with our massive network of people?
The one deal that you remember that like excited you and you're just like, man, I'm an awesome human being for pulling this together. Do you have any of those?
So
it doesn't matter if it's money, it doesn't matter if it's, whatever it is. Just you personally are an awesome being because you brought this together. Nobody else knew you were awesome necessarily, but you feel this way. You felt like you were the awesome person. Do you have any of those?
So I really like what we did with the 84 plus and the Lytra. 84 plus Lytra, we basically put this, it's still in a kind of sample phase, but it's a honey packet that has magnesium in it. And it's really cool because we not only brought together the company to produce the product, we brought all these different businesses together for it. It's not just, one company making a product. And I was also in the initial phases of selling the magnesium that went into the honey. So we sold this magnesium to clients that needed to save money on their taxes. The way
You
that
sold the product or you sold the business?
we sold magnesium.
I'm familiar with
product.
this a little bit. You sold magnesium product? Oh, okay. You sold
Yeah.
magnesium product. Okay, I got you. Interesting.
So we had clients that had a really heavy tax burden. They were interested in reducing that tax burden. So basically what we had was a bulk amount of magnesium where they could purchase it and then donate it to another company and receive the fair market value. So they got bulk pricing on it and then donated it and got a reduction on their income taxes.
So that's interesting. Is that how you think the tax, because I understand a little bit about this, where maybe the tax, they raise taxes massively for capital gains to try and get people that are holding on to money to put them into companies that maybe last longer. So they keep it for 5 years and then they don't have to pay the capital gains. Do you think that's why these administrations that come into place do those types of things, or so that we move our capital? They change the taxes so that we get smart and move our capital, or what do you think the thing is? Because it's like the number one thing everybody argues about.
Right. It could be a number of reasons. That's potentially one of them.
Do you have anybody in this amazing unicorn universe that talks about taxes or strategies like that when you guys do your different events?
Yeah, we do. And
is that you? Is that you, or is that you or one of your key partners potentially?
We have key partners. I look at it more of like we have specialists.
So at this event, right? Let's say this event that you have. I can go to this event and learn about this thing. If I was a high net worth individual, I could go. Is it you that does it, or the universe, or is it a key partner that talks about that usually?
Both.
It's both. Interesting. Okay. So are you saying both because you have a company within your own network that you network?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's that company's called?
That's called Night Ops.
Night Ops. Okay, Night Ops. Okay, so I'm going to put that as a potential key partner in here. Okay, cool. All right, so this 84 plus thing, you brokered this deal, and so you already have the magnesium. And is the magnesium another company that's in there, or is the magnesium just part of the unicorn universe?
It is another company.
It's another company. What's that company's name?
So the company that's brokering that is called Liquid Capital Partners.
Liquid Capital Partners. Interesting. Okay.
Yep. They've sourced the brine.
Partners. Cool. I like this. Cool. If I look them up, would they exist online then? That Liquid Capital Partners, or is this something where only high network individuals know who they are from like networking type things, or are they out there on the internet? You think?
So it's definitely for high net worth people that know about them, and largely by invite.
But I could probably find them.
You could probably find them. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. I like it. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. So if I could say to you that you need to pick a target customer, okay? A lot of people usually tell me like everything. So I'm just asking you, who's your target customer for Unicorn Universe? Your target customer.
Well, we have a few different target customers, really, because we do try to help various different businesses. Really, it would be businesses that are worth $1 million or more. There'd be on a more kind of personal level, it'd be an individual who owns a business that's paying themselves at least $100,000 per year or more. And then somebody who's earning $300,000.
Good, but here's the thing, right? I'm going to try and help you raise money potentially one day, okay? And that's how I get paid. Again, I don't know who brought you into this amazing thing that, but this is how I get paid. So I got to think a little bit differently. Okay. I like the way that you went, but let's say that you got this person that makes $300,000. Okay. To me, your target customer is the person that's going to give me a lot of those people all at once. Okay. So who do you know in any industry? Who do you know that literally knows people that make $300,000? For example, maybe example. Are there any people out there like this Liquid Capital Partners that knows just a bunch of wells probably? Maybe he has a network of these people and those are our perfect target customers.
Yeah, those would be good.
So those events that exist in the world that Liquid Capital Partners would go find his people from, right? So what type of events are those called? And then, is it called a fintech conference? Is it called, whatever it is, what is it called? And that's probably your target customer. Is that fair to assume?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
And then
so
unicorns.
Unicorns. So, okay.
Well,
unicorns, like the unicorns, the ones that are actually valued at unicorns, the value in companies?
No. So in the unicorn universe, we would host what we call syndication events, where we bring together those high net worth people.
We're going to get there, which is awesome, right? But you need a target customer of those high net worth people first. So I think it's great that you throw one of these events, but where could we go? And literally, if I could pull it up on a system right now and show you where they're all at, if I could, where could we go? So would it be, I would go look up high network conferences around the world, and then that's where we're going to target market everything, or what would it be, do you think? That would give you the most bang for your buck?
The most bang for your buck. That's a question I'd probably put a ton of thought into.
Okay, well, we don't have a ton of thought. We're going to do this in 30 minutes and wrap it up. Right. So how about this? How about I help you with a ton of thought? Okay. How about, it's just really broad. Okay. Really broad for a big network, but okay. Here's what I think we should do.
So, there's financial advisors.
I've got the perfect one. Hold on. I got the perfect one.
All right.
Okay. Every bank in the world that I know, their entire portfolios are based off of 3 categories, and it's called transportation of products, food products, and people products, because it always will happen in the world no matter what. So they literally buy airplanes. So they have a desk called an airplane desk. They have a desk that's called a intermodal rail desk, and they have a desk that's called an ocean ship desk, literally. And massive amounts of money flow into this so that they can securitize all the capital in the world and literally do roll-ups and then redeploy the money, which is those 98% crazy banking things that it's all fake. No, it's not fake. We just buy the assets as they roll up to the bank. Makes sense? So what if we sent you to something called the JOC conference, which is called the Journal of Commercial something, or the TOC conference, which is like the Transocean conference. Every company in the world goes, but they're like the top 9,000 companies in the world. What about something like that?
Yeah, that'd be a great opportunity.
Okay, so for now, I'm going to put in here as a rough draft so you can get comfortable with your target customer. JOC or TOC conference, okay? All right, cool. Okay, so for now, I'm going to put that, okay? And then we'll add another one in your target customer now that you're thinking that you can think later, okay? Okay, so really quick, are you the CEO of this company?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool. You're the CEO of this company. And you're Daniel Martinez, it said when it popped up, or Daniel?
Daniel Knight, Knight.
Okay, Daniel Knight. Why does it pop up as Daniel Martinez? That's strange.
Where is it popping up as Daniel Martinez?
I don't know. Somebody told me your name was Daniel Martinez or something. I think you.
Yeah, so I'm from Spain, and so I have 2 last names.
Oh, I like this. Okay, cool. Very good.
Recently changed from Martinez. I have been going by that for my entire life, and I decided to change it up, and now I go by Daniel Knight.
Oh, cool. So, we might have to.
Not legally changed yet, so when we sign agreements, you'll see Martinez.
Okay, cool. So, okay, we're gonna have to check into that when you're pitching. Okay, it's gonna come up when you're pitching. If now and then it changes and it signs. And so, if you're known as Daniel Knight, maybe this is what we do. Okay, and there's 1 of 2 things. One, some investors are going to want to really know the story, okay, because it's going to be important to them, because it might come off as a shock or risk in the event that you've changed your last name. So they're going to want to know the story, okay? Right. But here's what I think you should do personally. you're probably going to write a book at one point and be a guru of something. So Daniel Knight is your stage name, okay? For the purpose of you like to be private as an individual, okay? So for now, just top line real easy, okay? Now, we'll work on whatever it is in the background so that when they really want to know, because here's the thing, you changed your last name, you're telling people you changed your last name, but your real last name is Daniel Martinez. What is the first person, an investor that's going to give you money going to think? What do you think they're going to think?
That he's hiding something.
Probably so. I'm glad that you said it, not me. Probably so. So here's the thing. I don't allow you to be hiding anything. At one point, everybody that comes through my universe, okay, I literally make a website name for them. And it's literally their name, first name, last name, whatever they're known in the world by, Daniel Knight, whatever else the case. And literally, people are going to be able to land on your landing page so they can hire you to be a coach or a speaker or anything else, because we're going to put you on stage when you're ready, or we're going to put you on a podcast when you're ready. We're going to do these things, okay? And what happens is, if everybody went to your page and they saw all the podcasts you were on, everything you were ever on, and the story of why you changed your last name, why it was important to you, then when somebody like an investor comes to you and they go looking, they'll probably still try and pull up your last name. They're going to give you a bunch of money in what's called a 506. So when they do that, they're going to have everything why it's there. They're not going to find anything else. They're going to be, oh, that's cool. I like that reason. Makes sense? And we're going to help you make sure that you achieve that ahead of time. Make sense? Real easy.
Yep.
And if it was something that was bad, we would help you achieve it in a way that was positive. Yeah. Basically, this is why I get people to talk on stage and speak, because I had a bad thing. I lost a lot of money, of international people's money. And now I do this full time to help other people raise money. This is all I do. And I'm passionate about it and I'm good at it. And this is why. So I'm going to coach you on all these things. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're going to try and keep this to ending at 8. So I'm going to move on here for a second. So, real quick, do you have a COO currently?
No, not currently.
Okay, no COO currently. And then what about, do you have an executive advisor currently? So somebody who's on an advisory board for you that's the head advisor. Do you have one of those?
Yeah, that'd be Tim Gibson.
Tim Gibson, awesome. Executive advisor, cool. And then do you have a CFO currently for your company?
Yeah, his name's Forrest. Forrest.
Yep.
EST.
Forrest. Davis, awesome, perfect. Okay, cool. Okay, let's see here. Somebody who's going to join. Okay, besides your company, Unicorn Universe, what is other things they could do besides what come to you guys? So besides Unicorn Universe, what's out there besides Unicorn Universe to find funding, network, or grow JV ventures, or operate better? What else is out there? Like a McKinsey company, maybe? Or maybe too big? McKinsey's probably too big. Maybe they don't really do networking. So
you're saying like internal, internal, like, for those solutions, we have kind of 3 verticals.
No. Okay. So other solutions, other companies, not yours. Okay. So other companies they could go to. So for example, for networking, I know this thing called corporate alliances, I think. They could go to corporate alliances for the networking part. Mm-hmm. They could go to, I think I know of another thing called BNI Network. So Business Network International. Business Network International.
Yep.
Okay, but then if you have more of a really expensive product, maybe I'm going to also put on here maybe a CEO space, which is very expensive.
Okay,
because this actually goes out to everybody that we do in our network. They get this, so they know if I say these names, they know exactly what you do. Okay, so, but it doesn't really cover. CEO space covers operates better, but need funding. Yeah, maybe within that network, but it's usually not really a positive feeling when I've done it before. Like I meet somebody that says they're going to give me funding and they try and sell me a $10,000 consulting package and it never turns into funding. And then they put some like exclusive thing in. That's why I got into this, to be honest, is I joined a networking group and I had like 3 of them and they all had exclusive things in the contracts that I didn't know because they did it real fancy. And so if they all raised money for each other, they would have all got paid. It's so funny, but so this is why I do this full time. So who could they get money from besides, like, let's say I didn't understand 506s. In here, people might put banking, right? But here's what's really cool, because this goes to somebody who raises money. We're going to put 506 fund. And here's what I'm going to put. I'm going to put like Bridger Pennington classes. So like they could go to a Bridger Pennington class. Okay, makes sense? Okay, I'll put
Yep.
that in here for now. Okay, 506 fund, Bridger Pennington class. I'm gonna put that class. Okay, cool. Okay, maybe he's a future speaker or something for that. I like that. Okay. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do that. Okay.
So
All right.
if I
So
can give you some more fundraising options.
oh,
you
okay,
like?
more fundraising options.
Or-
Ooh, I like it. Like maybe like a crypto option or like what? What's the option you got for fundraising?
Not so much crypto,
Okay.
but we do work with a company that has resources they're called Meller Financial.
Meller Financial has resources. Okay, interesting. I like that.
And there's another one called Rainstar Capital Group.
Rainstar. Okay, I've never heard of any of these either of these companies. I've never heard of them. I'm sure they're out there and amazing, but I've never heard of them. So let's say one. Oh, let's say one that maybe I've heard of. So if they didn't go to Meller Financial, who does Meller Financial want to be one day? That's really big. Like a Merrill Lynch, maybe? A Merrill Lynch?
Yeah, I'm not sure who they want to be.
A JP Morgan Chase, maybe? Or when I think financial, a World Financial Corporation, like one of the big boys? Primerica, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, there'd be like JP Morgan or Key Bank type of deal.
They want to be a bank, this Merrill or Financial, you think?
No, I don't think they want to be a bank.
Okay, so not JP Morgan, not that. Maybe so like a financial company, like World Financial, the big MLM company I hear about sometimes. But not MLM. Obviously, they're not going to do MLM, but like a World Financial, right?
Right.
Or a TD Ameritrade, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean.
Okay, I'm gonna put these in here. This is gonna help me, just so you know. So we're again, this is the rough draft. So TD Ameritrade. Okay, I'm gonna put that in here. Okay, so
I mean, and they have different names for their wealth management type of services.
Cool,
and,
awesome. Okay, well, and so we'll come back to that. I think that'll be really good. We could come back to that. Okay. All right. So company solutions. Okay. So you have all the other solutions that are out there potentially. Okay. And just so you know, those people you named, I'm not going to put them under other solutions because they're part of your key partners probably. And so I'm going to move that to those things. Or if I said TD Ameritrade or any of those companies, they're part of your key competitors basically. Right. But not yours, actually JD or actually Meller Financial. So I want to do this for Meller Financial one day and do theirs. And then we can just roll them up to this. This is a great idea. We could just roll them up. And we could probably have some really good customer testimonies off of this too, which would be really great. Okay. So let's go down to company solutions. So you said they could do other solutions of going to corporate alliance or business network international or CEO space. But the reason that they don't go there and you're a better solution than those places is because
we make sure they're going through the right company.
So they get some sort of a guide, maybe? They get a guide to go to all these other places?
Yeah. So, when you need something in business, it's common to be referred to somebody that, if you're talking to somebody that they know, right? Because they want to help their buddy out or whatever it is. So we kind of we take that away, that pain away from both sides, both the person making the recommendation and the person looking for it.
Track them going through this process? Like you track them and then you follow up with them to make sure that the provider that you help them guide within the network that does sort of what it sounds like they might need.
Absolutely.
You track them to make sure that they are good?
Of course, yeah. So we don't only make sure that they're sent to the right provider, but we make sure
that they are being followed up on by your network.
Right.
Is there a software that does that?
Yeah.
There is a software
I mean,
that does that right now? That's awesome. Okay, what's the name of the software company? I got to put it on here for an investment. Is there a name of a software?
For an investment?
Yeah, in the event that you got it, in the event that you went out for investment one day, it would just be on here. This is yours. I'm not going to share this with anybody unless you tell me I can for training purposes and stuff to help you guys grow. So is there a software you use? Like, for example, do you use a white labeled software that you purchase somewhere else for like a CRM? And if you did, then we're going to call this the Unicorn Universe CRM.
Okay.
You use CRM, you know what I mean? And here's the
right.
thing, would you
We
sell
will
that?
be white labeling it.
You will be, okay, so then you might use a Zoho for now, but we're not put Zoho on here if you're gonna white label it. So instead, because I want people to think that they flow through your network, and I want them to come through your network to learn how to flow through your network. This is what I'm thinking. I mean, it sounds like a
Right.
really cool network. This is what I'm thinking, right? And so if they knew this to learn, then we're gonna go out and we're gonna find a software service. Like when I went to this event and this lady was there, I literally went to this event last night, and this lady was there, and she said she did software, and that's what she did as a what was it called, a fractional CTO. And so maybe you hire a fractional CTO and they do your software, and that's how you got done the software. Awesome. I like this. Okay, cool. So I'm going to come back to it. So company solutions, you track here. Okay. So what are your other solutions? So you gave me two, give me one more. That's better than corporate alliances, CEO space. You put Miller Financial, but it doesn't really sound like they're a competitor. So, or another solution in the world. They are a solution in the world. Okay, that makes sense. Not competitor. So maybe, so that's like a Miller Financial space, but better. So you're like, my Miller Financial is another solution. They could go to them direct, but they're in your network. Okay, I'm getting it now. But you are them plus more. Why are you plus more than Miller Financial, who's also in your network? This will be a good one.
We're then plus more.
Yeah, you're Miller Financial plus more, right? Because in your network, Unicorn Universe, you're Miller Financial plus more. And that's why they're on your other solutions. They can go to Miller Financial Direct, which is in your network. So this is cool, because this would be really cool to see that. And then what would also be awesome in here is target or key partners. How other solutions is Miller Financial. I'm going to put a Miller Financial logo in your key partners. And somebody would literally say, Aaron, how come other solutions is Miller Financials, but their key partner is Miller Financial? I said, isn't it genius? Isn't it genius? And they're like, yeah, I could get behind that. It makes sense. So it's part of the story, right? So, but why you guys over your own partner? Why you? That's the plus. It's that plus this. That's a company solution, right? So Miller Financial is awesome plus this, right? So what's the plus this to Miller Financial?
The plus this to Miller Financial. I mean, outside of financial, is that what you're asking?
Correct. Exactly. Yep. Within your Unicorn Network universe, what's that plus this?
So it'd be plus a marketing company or a branding company or a tech or operational company that provides, those type of services.
Okay, I like that. Plus, in this Unicorn Universe, are they going to become a unicorn, and that's why you called it Unicorn Universe? Like, are they going to become a unicorn?
Right.
Like a unicorn valuation or a unicorn person, potentially?
Well, so we believe that everyone is already has that unicorn inside of them. And
you
so we want to.
You mean the unicorn of being able to actually have $1 billion inside of them?
Yeah, that every business has $1 billion idea.
And they just need a network to help funnel this $1 billion idea?
Yep.
Oh, I love it. Okay. So
they need a strategic plan for their financials.
So you funnel opportunity to create unicorn valuations. Unicorn valuations.
Yeah, we guide them.
I love what you guys are doing. That is awesome to me. Okay, so now we get down to the fun part. Key competitors, and I need names. They're going to become logos, but right now I'm just putting. I'm taking out the ones that were on this other one that I'm overdoing another person's form. This is just how I've always taught myself to do this. So I'm going to copy, paste, and it's just going to be names. And so other competitors, and maybe the competitors aren't, maybe you're the competitor plus some, obviously it sounds like, but what's somebody that could be a competitor you could name that maybe would be like this? And maybe this is where that CEO space things needs to go with the other solutions. So what I'll do is I'll take what we put in CEO space up there, and I will put the logo here for this, and I will take what CEO space and solutions, and I'll put what they actually do, and then the competitor will go down here as a logo. So CEO space. Who else would be as big or as good as Unicorn Universe, almost, but not Unicorn Universe? Is there anybody else out there that's sort of like this?
So a lot of people would like in other networking groups to as competitors, just because that's a lot of what we do is we're creating a network of various different businesses.
I would totally agree. So maybe key partners within that networking group that literally worked with the person just to help navigate or guide. And they were like, maybe they bought to be the top of the Google page. Ooh, Google, maybe Google or Alphabet. Maybe Alphabet's your key partner or your key competitor.
Key competitor.
In a way,
yeah.
right? But it's a marketplace competitor in a way, right? Like Alphabet.
Right.
I'd say Alphabet. Ooh, I like this. So imagine this, right?
I could potentially say LinkedIn as well.
You are right on. Okay, so again, right, we're thumbing through, and there's a reason we put it in the page right here in the middle, because first, and maybe I should even move like key competitors up to the left, because then if they saw CEO space, Alphabet, and LinkedIn, and now something like the unicorn universe is going to impede on their space and make it flow better than what they do, that would be your acquisition person to acquisition, right? Because you're going to put an impeding her on who they are. Okay, who else is like this? That's like that. Maybe like a Shopify, because Shopify has their networking side. Did you know that?
No,
Shopify
I didn't.
has like this customer networking side. Yeah, they just added it a year ago. Maybe Amazon, like the ASD shows, and there's people that finance Amazon, like they go for them, and they like, maybe you could be an Amazon, you think? Because there's all these products that could be sold within your universe, maybe?
I wouldn't so much say Amazon.
So how about ASD, which is the support side to Amazon? You could be an ASD, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, cool. What about influencers that literally funnel people like ASD? Like maybe like Jim Cockrum is amazing. I love Jim Cockrum stuff. I know he could potentially be a competitor, but he could also be a partner, which I understand that. And so, man, maybe we put him in a key partner. So for now, let's leave him there, because I like Jim Cockrum and I have worked with him personally. So I'm going to put Jim Cockrum right here for now, just so I put him down here, okay? And then I'm going to call him and see if I can get him to move across the side to a partner. Make sense? That'd be good.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's put him right here, potentially. Who else would be like that?
There'd also be mastermind groups, like Zenith Mastermind. I think
that might be a key competitor and a key partner. It's so weird to me. Your guys' universe is different than anything I've seen, because I've never had this where it'd be so easy for me to move them across the line to the key partners. So crazy. And what's crazy, maybe
that's what needs to be the mission when working with these companies, is to work together, right? And help them see the magic.
Oh my gosh! Look. So you remember when I was sharing my screen with you? I know I'm not right now, but you remember when I was sharing my screen with you? I showed you there was a little paragraph up at the top. So you probably have a mission statement. This is not a mission statement, okay? This is not a vision. This is, I tell people exactly what it is you guys do. And you just said something. So you just said something to like this to me, bringing, lifting, no, I'm gonna put bringing competitors together to create key partnerships and focus specialties. That's what I'm going to put in here. Okay.
Right.
For supply chains. Wow. Think about that. How bad the supply chains of the universe are hurting because of COVID. For supply chain maximization and future mergers and acquisitions. Ooh, I like this one. This is good. Ooh, I like this. Okay. For future mergers and acquisitions. That would be the perfect exit when you get to know a otherwise competitor. You get to know them. And so rather than Apple fighting with Facebook in court, and here's the thing, it's probably all media just to like really pump them up, right? But at some point that media becomes hurtful. And so rather than do that, like they could get together and discuss what they're both good at and then focus at it. And then, maybe Mark Zuckerberg, who before Apple even started already hating on him, the government has to be hard. I mean, man, you and I are both human, right? You and I are both human. Do you believe you could be a Mark Zuckerberg? Do you believe that?
Absolutely.
Most people tell me no freaking way. Most people. Okay? So that's awesome that you could. I'm being honest. It's awesome. It's really cool because most people, they can only see that they can be their manager one step above them. Makes sense? And so you're telling me, no, we only have 1 minute. So I got to wrap up real quick. Okay. We only have 1 minute. Okay. So I want to set up a follow-up. Okay. So here's what I'm going to tell you real quick, how this usually works for me. Okay. Usually I apologize. We're a little bit late this morning. I know, but
no, that's my fault.
It's okay, no worries. Okay, so usually what happens for me is I do this, and I'm going to show you something real quick. Do you have just 1 minute before you can get on that other call? 1 minute real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you, okay? And here's what happens next, okay? So I'm going to share this with you real quick, and I promise I'll stay on time every other time, okay? So I pull up something like this. Do you know what this is? That is every school district in America, okay? And I could type in your NAICS for your networking thing, and I could pop this up and I could show you all those, or I could show you your target customer, which is the JOC TOC conference, and we'd probably go worldwide because it sounds like a worldwide one. I'd back it up and it'd show me the corporation headquarters for every one of those types of conferences in the world that are your target customers, okay? I do all this within an hour, and then at the very end of it, what I say to you is who brought you in, and if somebody brought you in, it's free, and that's part of the unicorn universe that I've heard about, and it's so amazing. And I know that's your company, but that's what this is a training thing for your company. So anyways, and this is what we're going to, how we're going to flow people through. Number two, though, is if you came in from outside the world, then if they met with a personal financial person, which is a CFO, not a wealth financer, a CFO, because wealthy families have CFOs, and then your wife or your spouse can call them and they'll always say yes, and this is how we do it. We'd relieve that stress. So if you meet with that person for 1 hour, you and your wife, preferably if you own this business together. And then number three is I can use this as a training video. So if you let me use this as a training video, this is free. Otherwise, this is typically $500 to $5,000 an hour of what I do every day, and I'm really good at it. So would you be okay if I use this as a training video?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
okay, great. So obviously I didn't fill out the rest of these on here, and I'm going to go in here and I'm going to delete them because this isn't you. This is the other guy that was on here. This isn't you. This isn't you. We don't know your market cap yet. I know you got to jump on. So I'm going to delete all these, and then I'm going to leave that down there just so I have it for there. And then we need to jump on another call follow-up and finish up the last 20 minutes. And typically I would get paid for this. So whoever it is that referred you, I'm going to go to the unicorn universe. Say we didn't wrap up. I think they're really into it. And so maybe you and them can work something out, and we can figure out how I can get paid for the follow-up hour. Is that cool?
All right. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Good. I love it. This was amazing. I look forward to working with you guys. And quite honestly, I want to be a part of the unicorn universe. This would be magical. This would be so cool to me. Make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, cool, man.
Hey, I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Have a killer week. I look forward to getting to know you a little bit more. Cool?
Yeah, we should get together for sure.
Oh, I love it.
See you later, man.
All right, cool, man. Later.
Okay, bye.